Still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry. The sedative will be easy now. No need to hurry.
The things I do to complete a contract. This again. Well, that explains the smell anyway.
Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
Junk.
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep are...
As soon as we get to Fort Joy, it'll be time to have words with this Boris fellow.
Come here. Hey! Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think. A gentleman among jesters, you are.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and
Is my shift over? Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My... clever story. I should have known there'd be trouble.
So much for a peaceful stroll.
the prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his eyes...
Ah, freedom. I'm nothing if not a man of my word, and I...
What would he have to gain by killing me? I'll have to keep my guard up.
Empty.
No key? No problem. This again. And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
Did the murderer take him into this room? Or was he already here?
What a well of knowledge this tome is. Dallas is such a dear lending it to me. My, these smelling salts are strong stuff. Why, you're looking a bit more chipper. Yes. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh, well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand on...
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's... Why, for my peace of mind, of course. Why don't you try casting one of those...
Currents of magic surge inside you, boiling, bursting, then breaking. Only...
My, look at the concentration on your face. All will. There you have it. See? The collar's function. It... For your own peace of mind, of course. Yours and the whole world's. Dungeon? You have the gall to call my laboratory a dungeon?
Index fingers pressed to her lips. She pauses a moment to give you a scrutinized...
My word. You do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to a new life awaits. And if you're a particularly good boy, perhaps a cure as well.
This is a rare kind of magic. I'll need to write to headquarters right away.
Bloody murder. Looks like someone's hit the Hall of Echoes a little early.
Behind the Magister, a bloodied mass lies in a heap. Gore and limbs lie at odd angles. You can't make out a face amid the mess.
There's been a murder. A sorcerer was killed by one of your own. Lucky you, Waters is investigating. She'll figure out who. Aren't you enterprising? Oh, go ahead. She with the body.
A young Magister stands pale and silent.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirth.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Oh, not with that collar on you, Aunt. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Not in here, it isn't. You let me know if you hear anything. No marks, no indications of a struggle.
That's enough now. Ah, there you are. Husband, would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like babes how very correct you are, spouse of mine? What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and get in.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You presume right. Nope. Trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The other thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Grey as quickly as they came, the clouds clear.
Good luck, Chief.
It was one of them. I know it. They don't care about us. Catch them.
An elf sits tucked away in a dark spot, lazily rolling dice.
Snake eyes.
She chuckles.
I bet that's just what they'll look like.
She shakes her head.
Game for one, I'm afraid. Rolling dice. Deciding fates. Don't worry, honey. It isn't yours.
She looks you up and down with the merest hint of a coy smile on her lips.
Never say never, though.
She eyes you quite seriously.
Not the future, no. I could lick your arm and tell you how you spent the night before.
She gives your arm a vigorous stroke of the tongue.
You were in a cellar with other sorcerers, only rather more vigorously. Of course it is. The truth's right there. But don't you worry, darling. I don't lick and tell.
Your Majesty, turnips and water are all I was given.
The Magister starts, recognition growing on
You look just like...
The Magister's face turns white. He makes a move to step backwards.
It is you. Ifan Ben Mesd. I remember you.
The Magister's eyes darken. His face closes.
I always knew you'd end up down low. Lower even than us nobodies in the rank. And Fort Joy, you're about to fall further than happy landings.
A broad dwarf sits totally upright on the bench, eyes closed, palms face up on... He raises an eyebrow as you approach.
Listen up, boy. You hear that?
I've seen more appetizing.
The ship, of course.
A wave of sound washes over you. The unintelligible chatter of your...
And? Sick as a leper's cat. From the state of it, I'd say she's being cared for. But there's more. Listen close. You've got ears on your head, haven't you? Do you need me to show you how to use them? There now, just like that.
Squeak!
Aha!
His eyes snap open as his countenance breaks into an expression of joy.
There. You heard it, didn't you? I knew it. I knew it. Aye, this is good news, boy. Good news. It's the wheel. The wheel. Don't you see, you beautiful idiot? Burn my beard. That means if we've been traveling for... Yes, only 10.34 nautical... no indeed, boy.
The dwarf leans back from the table and strokes his beard. Gold medallions...
That'll be all. Thank you kindly, boy.
Well, well. What have we here?
The lizard looks you up and down, like a farmer would. All of a sudden, he grips you firmly by the chin.
There's some discoloration, but I've seen... Now then, to business. You will answer me 3 questions. Ah, music to my beleaguered... On to the second question. Can you knit, weave? In short, tailor? Oh, but to feel the caress of satin on my scarlet... On then to my final query. Have you the ability to administer the upkeep of one's personal appearance? The very basics. So, 3 questions asked, 3 questions answered. As per your own testimony, you can cook, tailor, and groom. I offer you my sincerest congratulations. As of now, you are my slave. My slave, of course. Oh, but anyway, you may leave me for a moment. We'll go over your duty.
Quiet long enough for me to listen.
I spent my life singing for my slave. Meanwhile, the Magisters feast on...
You, Jill, is that right? Name? Well, you aren't here on my list.
Forgot how to sing. I did.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
It is simultaneously too detailed, and tell me, what do you know of our world's history? Oh, please. I have no No. I want to know about the This text tells me that they... Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind?
The elf's face freezes for just a second.
Oh, it's just one of my idle curiosities. We mortals... Now, please, run along.
No amount of pestering will get the elf...
Here to register, sir. Good, good. Magister, you faring okay so far? Of course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels. You'll see. We'll get you head on in now.
Keep those bolts trained on her, and if she tries...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo.
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
lies in a heap on the floor. You hear a faint thud. The Magister lies on the floor, unconscious and bleeding. The young woman lies in a heap on the floor. She doesn't stir.
Long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn. That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. The skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's.
No. What damn fools record not? It catches fire. It turns into must when wet.
The skeleton looks up and notices you.
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book.
Yes, indeed. It's the look of someone that wants to... Now, if you're really quite finished, I believe you have lifeboats to flee. Please, I was no more an elf than you are those rags you're wearing. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed, which allowed a mask that was stolen by that damned witch after her little... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools, and I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Indeed. Just as sensible as getting off a sinking ship and leaving I would say good day, but it seems quite likely that you...
The skeleton shrugs casually and returns. was painted recently, judging from its pungent scent. You press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold, it doesn't budge. The door groans open.
Deathlock! I need to get out of here now!
Children and dwarfs first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes, to no avail.
But there are other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? time for getting the hell out of here. Hear that, kid? We need to go.
But that ladder, it's right over there. Thank you, thank you, thank you!
You're gonna be the death of us in here.
The Magister lies on the floor.
If you could walk, get yourself up the ladder. There's a... Wait! Void Woken!
The Emperor's bugs would sink the ship on my watch.
I thought Void Woken was supposed to be scary. Let the games begin.
They who are about to die.
Away! The sea's hungry. We don't have much time.
I
We
hear
make a
something.
pretty good team.
It's Magister Siwan. Sounds like she needs help.
She tries to speak, but can only gape as she clutches her neck, trying with jagged movements. She raises her clenched fist and holds out a length of cloth. Soaked blood quickly soaks through the cloth. Magister Siwan's mouth opens and closes, her eyes wide in terror. Blood pours out from around the bandage. Magister Siwan reaches out to you, her hand, it's working. The pressure is stemming the flow of blood. Something within the ship snaps. The floorboards shudder. Siwan struggles to her feet, clinging to you tightly. The ship let...
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Orivan.
So the Order's right about one thing. We attract Voidwoken. Am I the lone survivor? Only one way to find out.